Hey guys, welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to talk about the Arcanite Dragonling and how it's going to change the meta of raiding in Phase 5 and Phase 6 for fire mages. If you guys don't know what the Arcanite Dragonling is, it's an engineering trinket and you must have an engineering skill level of 300 to both equip it and to make it. As for the schematic, it has a 2% chance to drop from Cobalt Mage Weavers in Winterspring. As far as mats, you're looking at a lot of different kinds of raw materials you'll need to craft this item. But luckily for you guys, I've made a list of those raw materials and the amount of each material you'll need, and also the cost section so you can calculate how much it's going to cost you in your server if you want to make that trinket. As you can see in my server, it's going to cost you exactly 692 gold to make this trinket. The link to this spreadsheet will be found in my Discord server under the My Links channel, and you can find every add-on I use just under that in the resource and add-on section. Do come by my Twitch or ask me in Discord if you have any questions, and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. I'm also doing a T-Boost Blazing Longsword giveaway at 10,000 subscribers, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. So anyway, I've been trying to farm the schematic for over 1 hour, and as usual, nothing dropped. Then I just ended up buying it from the auction house for 1.3k gold. Now let me tell you what's so special about this pet. Now some of you may already know this if you played in private servers. The pet casts a debuff on the target, which increases fire damage taken by 60. It means if I cast a fireball on this target, whatever damage I would have done, I will do 60 more damage. And this also works for spells like Searing Pain from Warlocks. But wait, there's more. This stacks. This debuff stacks up to 5 times, which means a total fire damage taken increased by 300. So if a regular fireball does 1200 damage, after a 5 stack of this debuff, they'll be hitting for 1500 per hit. That's basically stacking 2 flasks of supreme power on top of each other without even using a flask. This pet does an overall damage of 2.5k. So it's going to add around 30 to 40 to your overall DPS. Now if you have only one of this trinket in a raid, that's pretty insignificant. First of all, because it has a 1 hour cooldown. The second reason being, the 1 minute this Dragonling is up, it'll only be able to cast 2 or 3 stacks of debuffs on the target. So to make this viable, you'll need to use at least 4 to 5 of these trinkets per boss fight. Anyone can use this trinket, you don't even have to be a mage. Now you guys are wondering, hey, why the hell do I waste a trinket slot for a class I don't even care about? And the answer is, you don't. You can just use the trinket, switch back to your original trinket, and just start DPSing. And the pet will not go away. The pet will stay with you as if you never unequipped the trinket. So all the engineers in your raid have no reason not to use it every now and then in a couple of boss fights. Now let's do some damage tests and see how the numbers increase with each stack. Now, with no debuff stacks on the target, I was averaging a damage of 918 per hit. And also you can see that I'm not spec'd into fire. This has been done as a frost mage and I have no consumables. Alright, now let's try with 1 stack. Now with 1 stack, the DPS increased a little bit. As you can see, the average damage now is 969 per hit. You'll find the damage data in the same spreadsheet I talked about earlier in the video. As you can see, with 2 stacks of the debuff, the damage went even higher, now doing an average damage of 1094 per hit. Now it keeps getting better and better. At 2 stacks, it's pretty much a flask. Now at 3 stacks, which is 180 plus damage increase to fire spells, you already have more bonus damage than a flask. And as you can see, the damage went even higher to 1170 damage average per hit. Unfortunately, I could not get it up to 4 stacks or 5 stacks to test it out. But if I could, this would be the number you would be looking at. 4 stacks, I would be doing an average damage of 1240, and at 5 stacks, I'll be doing an average damage of 1310. And by the way, I did try it out in a private server with 5 stacks with BIS Phase 6 gear as a fire mage, and in this server, the debuff seems to stack in stacks of 70 and not 60. Now I don't know if that's because I changed to fire, or if that's because this is a different server. I am yet to figure that out, but my average damage did go from 1400 to 1800 after the debuff 5 stack was reached. Now let me answer some questions you may have about this debuff. Some of these answers I'm absolutely sure of, but the others I am not sure because I've just heard them from other players. If the answers turn out to be different than what I say in the video, then I will make an edit in the description, so do keep an eye out on that. Can the debuff get resisted? Yes, it can. That's why it's good to have 4 or 5 people who are using this trinket in a boss fight. Or else you would need like 2 or 3. Does it scale with Ignite? Yes, it does, absolutely. The Ignite will take for more damage with the debuff than it would without the debuff. Does it scale with improved Scorch? Now this is where I'm not really sure, but if it did, the fire damage increase bonus would be 345 instead of 300. So if you guys know the answer to this question, please let me know in the comments below and I'll update it in the description. And by the way, the damage only scales if it's a spell damage from a caster. So I'm really sorry about that, Fire Rogues. And by the way, I am working on a weak aura that's gonna tell you how many debuffs are on the target. And once I'm done with that, I'll post it in my Discord server, so make sure you are joined in. And as for application strategies, that's a question for your raid leader. There are many techniques you can use to approach this strategy, but the most ideal one, in my opinion, would be to have 4 people pre-cast the trinket before the boss fight starts, and have the 5th player cast the trinket in the middle of the fight after all the Dragonlings are dead. Now who that 5th player is up to the raid leader to decide. But it doesn't really matter because that person would be just doing it for only one boss fight. After that he can just switch back to his normal trinket, since it has a 1-hour cooldown. But this technique prolongs the duration the debuff can be on the target. It's like having a baby fire maw in the raid, and also he's on your side. And this debuff can especially help you out on fights like the Twin Emperor, because when them warlock tanks are casting Searing Pain, they're gonna generate even more threat. Now this is going to be a huge raid investment, especially for people who are not fire mages or warlocks, but I think it's totally worth it. Now if you're one of those hardcore min-maxing speed clearing raiding guilds, then I'm pretty sure everyone is required to have this in the raid. No matter if you're a healer, DPS or a tank. Now that is all I have for the video. If you enjoyed, please do like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitch. Hopefully I'll be live to answer some of your questions when this video is out. And we are almost 1000 followers on Twitch. Can we reach 1000 followers? Can we? Can we? Yes, we can. And a big thanks to my Patreon supporters. And as always, see you guys in the next video. Peace!